Hello everyone, and welcome to From the Heart Friday, session 77 with me, Jessica Brigden of Jess B Creative Cardiology. Welcome back. I took the last couple of Fridays off to spend some quiet time with my hubby, and so we are back in the groove this week. This is our first Facebook Live of the year. Hey Susan, welcome. And so I hope that you have come back and joined me here too. So we have the fabulous Stampin' Up! Mini catalog that just started this week, as well as our much anticipated A Bration sale. This year, it's only 2 months to start with. So for right now, it's January and February. So we've got some fabulous products. Hey Rachel, hello. And so if you're not familiar with that, or even if you are, A Bration has 3 parts: shop, host, and join. So anybody who shops in the months of January and February and spends at least at least $50 US gets to choose an item from the A Bration brochure. So there are many different items I've been showing on my various YouTube videos and things. Some of the beautiful papers that we've got. There's some fun stamp sets, like those cute little donkeys that I gave you a sneak peek of back in December. Yes, so there's many different stamp sets, papers. Today we're going to be using the Corner Bouquet stamp set. Love that one. Oh, thank you for sharing, Susan. I appreciate that. Yes, many papers. So those are free items with a $50 purchase. If you do spend more, of course, you can get 2 items, or we have some level 2 selections, such as the A Touch of Ink stamp set with the fun butterflies and the hummingbirds. And we also have a 2-for item. I say 2-for because you can get both the Berry Designer Series paper and the Berry Blessing stamp set. So you get both of those items if you wanted to as your selection with a $100 purchase. So lots of fun. So I'm showcasing both items from A Bration as well as the mini catalog. I wanted to share with you guys the gorgeous new Love You Always Designer Series papers. These are found on page 11 of your mini catalog. And these foil papers are gorgeous. Let me show you here. I've got snippets. I have used just about my whole pack, and I have ordered more. So with the Love You Always suite, there are 3 colors. There's Sahara Sand, Blushing Bride, and Rococo Rose. So these are the Designer Series paper. Can you see those gorgeous foil embossed designs on there? So with that, you actually get 12 by 12 sheets. Say that 5 times fast. You get 4 of each of these 3 designs. So you get 12 sheets in that pack. Beautiful. And then there is coordinating foil paper to also match. I know you're getting a reflection here, but again, we have the Sahara Sand, the Blushing Bride, and then the Rococo Rose. And that's 6 12 by 12 sheets. So you get 2 each of the 3 designs there. Hey Luann, welcome. So these papers are so gorgeous. Of course, we have some beautiful accessories too, like this Blushing Bride shimmer ribbon. Can you see the sparkle? I love it. So we're gonna create some beautiful but simple cards today. So I'm going to go ahead and flip things around and we'll get started creating. Yes, they are pretty papers. Absolutely. Okay, so we got everything in focus there. Okay, just slide things over so you can see a little bit better here. And then my January host code for online orders is FR7X2HZ4. Of course, when you order with me online or by calling or texting me, then you also get some of my fabulous tutorials that I send out each month. And I would love to get those sent to you so you can get creating. Yes, so we are starting out today with a Sahara Sand card base. So this is a half sheet of 5.5 by 8.5. Let me grab my tools here, my bone folder. Luann says it's a cloudy day out there. Yes, it's kind of gloomy here too, but it's cold. It's down in the, I think it's like 23 when I checked at lunchtime. So it's chilly, but I can't complain. It's been a pretty good winter so far. Nothing too crazy. Okay. So for this card, here we go. I've got some Rococo Rose, a Whisper White, although it's now basic white. So our products, we've had a change in supplier, so our white paper is now basic. And then the beautiful foil embossed Rococo Rose paper here too. So what we're gonna start out with, we're just gonna set those apart. This layer of Whisper White is 3 3/4 by 5. And on this piece, we'll be stamping our corner bouquet. And I think for this particular card, let's see, I'm gonna go this way. It's gonna be landscape. So I am going to first adhere my designer series paper. Like I said, sometimes I come in with these with a clear concept in mind, and other times I know what I want to work with, and let's see what comes out. So, so in this case, I have what is this? It's an 1.5 inch piece of the beautiful designer series paper there. So I've put my adhesive on here. It is just a little bit wider. So what I wanted to do, I'm gonna just butt it right up along the edge there. You can see I've got just a little bit hanging over on each side, but I did that on purpose because once I stamp this, I'm going to adhere it here on my card base. Looks like I cut this just a little bit long. I'll need to trim that off, but that's okay. What I'm doing on here, let me grab my stamp set, and I'm going to use the smaller image here. Have I noticed much of a difference between the Whisper White and the basic white? Not necessarily. So I've got a sheet of basic white here, and I've got a sheet of the Whisper White. Let me get my hands on it here. As far as color, I really can't tell much difference. I would say the Whisper White is just a tad smoother. I mean, it's really hard to tell, but the Whisper White is just a little bit smoother. But I think the basic white is definitely comparable. So I don't think we'll notice any difference at all there when it comes to our actual stamping. Okay, what did I do with that image? Look at that, I stuck it to the back of my paper. That's how sticky these new cling stamps are. You have to be careful where you set those down. On a funny note like that, I was going through some things. I had a workshop yesterday afternoon, and I've got one this evening. And I was going through my Dandy Garden collection of everything that I had packed up and just kind of nice and tidily put together when I was stamping with that back in December. And I'm not sure if you guys were with me on that video, but I did a couple of pretty Dandy Garden cards, and then I lost my You're an Inspiration stamp from that set. It was like my favorite greeting. Well, guess what? Today, a whole month later, I found it stuck to the back of a piece of paper, between two pieces of paper in that package. So I need to clean it off a little bit. It's a little bit stuck there, but I was so pleased that I finally found it again. So that was like one of my favorite stamps from that set. So I've got my Rococo Rose ink here, so we're just gonna gently tap. Yeah, this is a good juicy ink pad, so I'm not worrying about that too much. And I'm gonna stamp that kind of down here in the corner. So pretty. All right, so we've got that. I haven't decided completely on my greeting yet. So I'm debating whether I should stamp my greeting in the Rococo Rose and do it totally single. I'm reading the comments and talking at the same time. So totally single color, or if I should stamp it, my greeting here in black for a little bit of contrast. Rachel's asking, is my workshop just for customers? So the workshop that I had yesterday afternoon, and then again this evening, those were private customer parties. So I'm happy to do those for anyone. I hosted them on Zoom. And so what I have is these 2 days are two groups of friends who got together and said they wanted to do a Stampin' Up! Workshop. So I demonstrated a couple of cards, walked them through the mini catalogs, showed them a bunch of fabulous samples that I had gotten back in my card swaps that just arrived this week, and answered a bunch of questions for them. We were able to chat and have a good time. The whole thing lasts about an hour. Oh, here's Ziggy. She wants to help make cards too. All right, come on, Ziggs. But yeah, so I'm happy to do kit classes, workshops, just about anything. So let me know what your idea is, or if you're not sure and you want to talk some things out, then I am happy to discuss that with you. All right, so let me trim this off. What happened was somehow I completely mismeasured. All right, so this paper, like I said, is 3 3/4, and I want my beautiful pattern paper here to be 4 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to trim about halfway off of each of this. Okay, so just a little scrap there. Make it even on each side, and now I can line this up there at the 4-inch mark, and then trim the rest of that little piece off. Must be I gotta go a little bit further here. Oops, I put my adhesive on there. All right, there we go. Real life crafting. You got it. Yes, Luann saying plain water. Yep, that's what I was thinking. I just have to take it to the sink a little bit and work at it and get that little bit of paper off there. So shouldn't be too big of an issue at all. Okay, so let's go ahead, now that we've got that trimmed down, we're going to mount it on our Rococo Rose cardstock here. So we'll put our adhesive on the back. Okay, so we've got our pretty layer here, and I'm gonna wrap my ribbon going around the whole thing here. So for the Rococo Rose, I have pulled in, this is in the annual catalog, our beautiful Rococo Rose two-tone ribbon that's got this beautiful shiny gold as well as the Rococo Rose trim there. I think we'll just come in just a little bit to hide that seam. So you'll want to cut your ribbon here about 5.5 inches. Make it long enough that you can tape the ends to the back. So I am going to go ahead and put, the adhesive all the way around here. Okay. All right, so then we'll put that back where we want it there, kind of hide that seam, tape that right to the back. I will put just a little bit extra right on those ribbon just to make sure it stays flat and doesn't sneak out the back. All right, and then we're putting that on our Sahara Sand card base. Oh, Luann saying she hasn't previously been a fan of Rococo Rose. I don't know, it's a very kind of a subdued color. It's not bright. I mean, the designer here series paper here looks quite bright. I think because it's got that foil inlay. But I've always loved this ribbon, and really it's kind of a nice. I'd almost dare say it's almost a neutral that works with so many different colors. For example, they've used a lot of Rococo Rose here lately, even pairing it in the Paper Blooms designer series paper with the Night of Navy, the Seaside Spray, and the Soft Sea Foam. So it's definitely kind of a neutral, a subtle neutral. I guess it could go either way. Yeah, Luann says sometimes it seems just a little dirty, but I think it really depends on what you pair it with. I guess I've always kind of thought that about Blushing Bride too a little bit. Here you can kind of see the two color packages together. The Blushing Bride is a little bit, I don't want to say mottled, but it's almost like a dusty pink. Maybe that's a better phrase for it. Kind of a dustier color, not necessarily bright. But I love this ribbon. That makes it definitely pull out some of that shine. So got it just here on my roll. I'm gonna slip it under here and tie a pretty little knot. I don't want a whole bow because this ribbon is kind of wide and I don't want it to pop up too tall. Let's just slide that down just a little bit. That's why I tape my ribbon ends to the back, because that way when you leave that center part open, you can always slide it up and down until you're happy with it, and then it lays nice and tidy, nice and flat where you want it there. All right, so let's see. Susan's asking, do I find myself using Seal Plus more than Tombow? Actually, the reason I'm using Seal Plus here on my regular cards, good catch, Susan, is because I ran out of the regular seal. I have a whole order full of refills arriving on Monday. I didn't expedite those. They were part of an order I closed out at the end of December. And just with the shipping times, it's taking them till Monday to get here. Seal Plus is generally what I would reserve for doing 3D items and boxes because it has a super duper hold. It's almost a little overkill for a project like this, but but yes, that's why I'm using the Plus as opposed to the regular Stampin' Seal. Yes, and if you watched a video, I think it was my Tuesday video, I used up the last of my snail refills. I am completely out of those, and yeah, I've just kind of been making do with what adhesives I have on hand until that order comes in on Monday. So I was trying to be good. I definitely spent beyond my well, I don't want to say beyond my budget because I don't even think I used that word, but definitely didn't use it in December, and now I gotta behave a little bit. So I'm trying to be a little frugal and use what I've got. All right. But you guys don't know what that's like, right? We see something pretty and we've got to have it, especially all these fun new supplies. All right. So what do you guys think? Did you decide, should I stamp my greeting in the pink, in the Rococo, or should I go ahead and do a contrast and stamp that in the tuxedo black? That might help you to know which greeting I was thinking. So I was actually considering the sentiments from the Heal Your Heart. This is another celebration set. So both the Corner Bouquet and the Heal Your Heart are items that you can choose. They're level 1 celebration, so you can get either of these free with a $50 purchase. Oh, good. Rachel agrees. Budget is a dirty word. I so agree when it comes to my craft supplies. I mean, if you want to budget your groceries or or your different expenses, but yes, crafting is a whole other ballgame. All right, so I was kind of thinking on here, maybe this wishing I could heal your heart, or even the We're in this together. They're both so pretty. All right, so Luann is saying stamp the greeting in Rococo. So we'd kind of do a whole tone on tone here. All right, just reading back through your comments a little bit. Okay, anybody else have, Rachel says, what about using the color of the card on the back? I could stamp the greeting in the Sahara. I'm afraid it would just be a little too light, like too subtle. All right, well, though Luann seems to agree with the idea, perhaps using the Sahara. Hey, Pam, what, snow in North Carolina? Really? Wow, we don't even have well, I guess we do. We have some residual snow left over here on the ground in New York, but we haven't really had much in the way of accumulation here lately. So let's go with we're in this together. I think I'll do that for this one. All right, and you guys are talking me into it. We will try stamping this in the Sahara sand, which is the color of the cardstock on the back. And I guess if we don't like it, we can go over it with Rococo or black and see what happens. But all right, looks like my ink pad is good and juicy. So let's go with that. Okay, so I'm gonna stamp this right in here. Let's see, make sure our card is square with our stamp so that the words read straight across. That's always good. All right, what do you guys think? It is very subtle. However, I do have these gorgeous pastel pearls from the Hydrangea Hills suite that come, woohoo, they're hiding behind there, come in that pretty Rococo rose color. So if we add a couple of these, then that might highlight this a little bit. What do you guys think? I'll kind of, let's see. I don't know if that's a splotch. Oh, maybe a piece of dust. Trying to find out what was up there. We'll just put one there. I often use my pearls and embellishments to hide little ink smudges or whatever happens on your card. All right, let's do that. And then let's put one down here by the flowers because I think that kind of draws the eye around. Hey, Gladdy, how are you? So I'm playing with some more of this Love You Always designer series paper. Yeah, so Gladdy actually attended my workshop yesterday afternoon. So she got to play. I haven't done a video for the public yet on the cards that we made at our workshop. You guys will all just have to wait a little bit until my workshops for this month are done because I don't want to spoil the surprise for any of them. All right, but yeah, I think I like that. I'm okay now that it's there, having stamped that in the Sahara sand. Yes, and Luann says the pearls seem to darken the ink. You know, it did. It almost, I think because we framed this out, it makes it stand out just a little bit more. Yeah, I like that. I think I'm happy with that. Okay, so for the next card, all right, I'm gonna have to tuck this over here because for the next one, I'm going to use a card base of, well, I have to not say Whisper anymore. Basic white. I'm using the thick. Actually, this is still, I have some of the, I'm gonna cut this vertical. I don't usually do that, but I do wanna my card to open this way today. So I'm cutting this at the 4 1/4 mark so that the card will be 4 1/4 by 11. So this is actually the thick Whisper White, the original that I am working with today. And with this, with any of the thick cardstocks like that, I'm just trying to feel which way the paper kind of rolls. Paper usually has kind of a natural grain to it, and it often will kind of start to curve in one direction or the other. So I noticed this one is kind of curving up on this side. So this is the side I'm going to score on at the 5.5 mark there. So with the thick white cardstocks, I find it's always best to pre-score before I fold it and crease it with my bone folder, because you don't want your cardstock to crack or get kind of wrinkly there around the edges. Pre-scoring that definitely helps. Okay, so for this one, what did I do with all those little pieces I cut? They're behind my pile of white here. All right, so this one we're going with the Blushing Bride patterns here. Let's see if I cut this one. I had cut my Rococo Rose pattern a little bit too long. Oh, looks like, yes, I've got my pretty Blushing Bride. I actually cut that to the right width, so we're good there. All right, so this one I am going to stamp my Whisper White first. So 3 3/4 by 5. So same measurements as the original card, but this time, instead of using the smaller image that we used on the first card, we're gonna do this larger corner. So let me pull this one out here. Come on, that's actually a pretty big stamp. So for this one, I am going to need my, where did I put my blocks? Here we go. This is the E block, if you're wondering what block to use here. So I kind of like to angle things so I can see all the edges. So putting this on my E block, and we are going to stamp this in Blushing Bride. And if you're wondering why my ink pad looks so funny, it's because I just re-inked it to make sure I had it good and juicy. Yep, looks like I'm really good. Okay, clean off the dust. And this is gonna go right down in the lower left corner. Oh, so pretty. I could have pressed a little harder down there, but really, I'm okay with that. I think it's all right. I don't think I need to re-stamp it. It's not too bad. But paper does have two sides, so if you don't like how you do one side, you could always flip it over and do the other. All right, so we are going to layer this onto our Blushing Bride cardstock that's 4 by 5 1/4. So go ahead and put this on here. Every now and then, I'm still kind of getting the hang of this. The Seal Plus is more like little, it's not one continuous adhesive. It's like all these little pieces, and there is just a little bit of a knack to lifting up when you've got to the spot where you're done. And that does take a little bit of the getting used to there. Okay, so I thought this is almost like little tulips on here, and I liked how this one kind of curved up, so I thought that would be pretty to put right up there at the top. So let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, so like I said, you kind of have to just turn it over, lift it up a little bit. So it's a little bit of a different movement with your wrist than the other one. All right, right here at the top. Okay. And then for this one, we are using the Blushing Bride shimmer ribbon that is part of the Love You Always suite. So in this case, I think I'm gonna go right across the middle. This ribbon's just a little bit thinner than the Rococo Rose. So again, cut yourself about 5.5 inches there. And we'll put our adhesive all around the back side. Okay. I have to remember not to get too close to the edge with this. Okay, so tack that ends here to the back. And then come in and add just a little bit more to secure those ends. Okay, make sure your card opens the correct direction. Nothing like gluing, making this pretty panel and then gluing it on upside down. I don't want to do that. All right, so I have a nice and flat here across the top. So you may have noticed with this ribbon, one side is definitely quite shimmery and the other side is a flat, kind of a satiny Blushing Bride. So whichever side you want. I love the shimmer side. I love the extra interest it gets there. And so the thing to keep in mind when you're tying your knot then, because look, this is the flat side up, you actually want to turn that as you tighten your knot so that your shimmer side ends up on top. So it's just a little bit of a twist as you're tightening to make sure you have the right. All right, let's see. Put that one down. Let's go up on this one. There we go. I guess I cut that just a little bit long, but yeah, I like it. I think it's nice. Okay, so now we need another greeting here. Let's try that. Let's do. All right, you guys decide. Should I do wishing I could heal your heart, or should I put the thank you on here? Maybe let's check these out and see. Let's see if this would even fit. So the thank you is a little bit wide. It just fits on there. So I'm actually thinking, well, you guys kind of have me. I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that Sahara sand again. What do you guys think? Oh, hey Doris, how are you? Yeah, so you guys think I should go ahead and try the Sahara sand one more time? That turned out pretty nice the first time. So let's do that. Let me grab another block here. And I should probably close my Blushing Bride ink pad so I don't stick my arm in it. Okay. So we'll go ahead and do this. All right, make sure it's square. Press firm. Lift up. Boy, that script is so pretty, isn't it? It's kind of almost old-fashioned. Little, maybe we should call it like a dusty pink. Yeah, I think that works. Not dirty, but dusty. It sounds better. Okay, so Luann agreed, definitely the Sahara sand there. Yes, I think that was good. Just cleaning off my stamps here quick. And you know what? It's funny how the pearls, in a way, when we put them on they are supposed to be Rococo Rose, and we put them on this card, they did kind of darken up, but I think they would look just as nice here on the Blushing Bride cardstock. Let's try that. Let's do that again. Let's try this. I think it blends in well enough. Yeah, I think that works. And then let's do one. Again, let's put one down here by the flower a little bit. Kind of draw the eye downward. I think that matches pretty well. Boy, you would think, looking at them, it almost looks like two different colors of pearls, but they're actually the same ones. So these are the pastel pearls. These are from the Hydrangea Hill suite there, but I absolutely love those. And the other elements, the the foil papers, and the shimmer ribbon here. These are all from the Love You Always suite of products. And then we pulled in 2 of the celebration items, the corner bouquet for the flowers, and then the Heal Your Heart for the sentiments. Gray pearls. I don't have gray pearls. I could use my blends and color regular pearls. No, I like the pink. The pink is brighter. It's more dainty and feminine, I think. I think I like that. Yeah. So what do you guys think? I just can't get enough. I just want to like sit here and rotate the paper and look at the shine. So what are the colors are the colors that we use today between all 3 cards I took from the Love You Always suite. So we have our Sahara Sand. Sorry, let me hold that so the light isn't reflecting on it. Sahara Sand. We have our Blushing Bride, which is the pale pink here. And then we have our Rococo Rose, which is the darker pink. Yes, so these were the 3 colors. I pulled them directly from the paper pack. So just kept it really simple today. Sometimes I find if you pull out too many supplies that it gets a little overwhelming, and then it can almost kind of prevent you from, kind of gives you crafter's block a little bit if you just get a little too overwhelmed. But if you keep it simple, the paper packs always have, I love this about Stampin' Up's papers, is that right on the label, they have the colors listed. And then the pearls on the card, these are the pastel pearls. And these also, I guess they're not labeled on there, but they are in the catalog here. And the pastel pearls, they're on page 19 of the mini. And these come in Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Rococo Rose, and Seaside Spray. So maybe these, what you think are gray, those are actually Seaside Spray. Yes. So yep, so those are the items that we pulled in. So yeah, not too long of a supply list for these. Yeah, so I think that's what it was. Rachel said they look great to her. Yes, but I think when we put them on a card, they're definitely a little bit bluer. But now I understand what you were going for when you were saying gray. Okay. So I was like, I don't have gray pearls, so. All right, well, you guys have a wonderful Friday afternoon, evening, whatever time zone you are in. Thank you so much for coming out and crafting with me today. I hope you're enjoying your brand new Stampin' Up! Products. And if you haven't ordered yet from the new mini catalog and chosen your free celebration items, then what are you waiting for? Go ahead and message me, give me a call, or place your order online. You can go to stampinup.com, and in your online store, it will ask if you have a host code, and that is where you type that in. And that way when you check out, it shows a pretty little picture of my face that you are shopping with Jessica Brigden, and and then I'll get a notification that you've placed your order. So thank you guys so much. Oh, Pam has been playing with the scrappy strip technique. Oh, with this paper. I'll have to see. I've got, so far I have, this is what I have left. I've got bits and pieces of my foils. So I do have some strips here, and a little bits of this left. Definitely can't wait to get the rest of my order in, especially that gorgeous black and white paper that is part of this suite too. But yes, at least I can say I have been good. I have been loving and chopping all my papers and making pretty projects. Oh yes, I would love to see that, Pam. That would be wonderful. Thank you guys so much. And if you are watching the replay here on YouTube, then make sure to give me thumbs up, leave me comments, hit that notification bell so that you find out when I've got new videos. And I look forward to stamping with you soon. All right, take care, everybody. Bye-bye.